Welcome to the Get Carried Yogg+0 Zero Light Shadow Beacon Guide. I'm Tandor. Phase 3 of Yogg can be made pretty simple if you follow these steps. Phase 3 is all about managing the health of the Immortal Guardians, as the more health they have, the more damage they do. If Immortal Guardians are at full health for long, you risk your tank getting one shot, so you want to cleave them efficiently. The first 5 Immortal Guardians we're going to keep low, that way the tank takes minimal damage and they don't require any cooldowns. Once the first Shadow Beacon goes out, you're going to go ahead and move the clump of Immortal Guardians away from the boss, that way the Shadow Beacon doesn't heal the boss. Once the Shadow Beacon heal lands on the Immortal Guardians, you're going to see a gigantic explosion come out of them and they will gain a hot. This hot, because they're stacked up, will ensure that the adds go to full health and stay at full health until the heal over time expires. So instead of attempting to damage through this, what we can do is we can chain cooldowns for the entirety of the hot. My recommended cooldown usage order is as follows, and it will work for just about any tank. You Divine Guardian and Lay on Hands from a Holy Pally to give you a large buff. About 6 seconds later, you're going to want to use Paints Up, and then you follow Paints Up with Shield Wall. This should give you 24 seconds straight of very large cooldowns, and the reason you do it in this order is that you want to start with your smaller cooldowns and get increasingly bigger. That way, as the adds are sitting at full health and more adds are coming in, you are now under bigger cooldowns. Depending on how well this is timing up for your guild, you may optionally choose to start AoEing the adds as soon as the Shadow Beacon heal over time expires. That way you can get them back to low health before the next Shadow Beacon occurs. Otherwise, you may need even more external cooldowns. Once DBM marks the adds for the next Shadow Beacon, just like the very first set, you simply run them away from the boss. Make sure your tank taunts any new ones that are spawning as this is happening, or you misdirect or tricks them to them. And once they get away from the boss, you can bop one pre-designated person in your raid and have them AoE taunt. Once they AoE taunt, the tank just runs away as far as they can, and your DK can pop army. Alright, now I'll show you a play-by-play of us using this strat in a GDKP. I'm playing Boomkin, which I have no idea how to play, but what I do know how to do is get bopped and press my AoE taunt button. So you're going to see that happening here. First thing is, we're keeping the Immortal Guardians low as they come in. We just cleave them down, make sure they're not full health, so they're doing minimal damage to our tank. I'm relatively high sanity here, so you're probably going to see me just face tank the Lunatic Gaze. That's pretty common. Yeah, here I'm just soaking it. It does exactly 20 sanity every time you eat a full channel, and I have over 50, so I know I'm not at risk of going insane. Shadow Beacons just went out, so our tank is going to pick the new one up, and he's going to run the entire stack away. Once that heal goes off, you're going to see an explosion. There it is. Once you see that explosion go out, you're going to want to start chaining your cooldowns on your tank. First thing you're going to do is you're going to immediately call for Lay on Hands and Raid Wall from one of your Holy Paladins. You're going to follow that up with Paints Up, and then after Paints Up, you're going to use your own personal wall. This should give you 24 seconds of cooldowns, which leads you right into the next Shadow Beacon. We got rather lucky in this kill as our tank did not roll his cooldowns properly and didn't get externals properly. We actually have Raid Walls and Lay on Hands available right now that can be used. So that's why you see us AoEing to try and catch up to make sure our tank doesn't die. Now we run the second set of Shadow Beacons out. I get bopped, I AoE taunt, and the tank runs away. Usually as soon as we have our tank run away, we also call for our DKs to army, but if I remember correctly, the boss is almost dead here. If you like these guides, make sure you let me know in the comments section what you want to see next.